Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Young and the Restless channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless will open with Billy Abbott riding a wave of confidence as he prepares to celebrate what he believes is one of the biggest victories of his life. Billy will have incredible news to share, and before long, Audra Charles will find herself drawn into the excitement when he invites her to celebrate with him. But while Billy is ready to enjoy his triumph, Kane Ashby and Lily Winters will be preparing for a battle of their own, refusing to simply stand by and watch everything they have fought for slip away. The tension surrounding Chancellor will rise immediately as Billy reveals that the Abbotts now own the company, a claim that will leave both Kane and Lily stunned and deeply skeptical. For them, this will not feel like a simple business announcement. It will feel like the beginning of a dangerous new chapter in Genoa City, one that could completely change the balance of power. Billy will stand his ground as he lays out the proof behind his shocking declaration, insisting that the evidence clearly establishes that Chancellor belongs to the Abbotts. He will double down on his claim that the company is his and that there is nothing anyone can do to change that reality, but Kane and Lily will refuse to accept his version of events without a fight. Their skepticism may quickly turn into outright accusations as they question whether Billy has become so obsessed with reclaiming Chancellor that he was willing to manufacture evidence to get what he wanted. After everything that has happened between them, Kane and Lily will have little reason to trust Billy's sudden victory, especially when so much is at stake. Billy, however, will remain completely confident that everything is legitimate and will insist that the proof speaks for itself. Even if Kane and Lily eventually realize that the evidence is real, that discovery will not make them surrender Chancellor quietly. Instead, it will only push them toward a much more determined fight to protect the company from Billy's control. As the confrontation intensifies, Kane and Lily may make it clear that they are prepared to take the matter to court and use every legal avenue available to keep Chancellor out of what they consider Billy's reckless hands. Their frustration will be impossible to hide because this is no longer just about corporate ownership, it is about power, trust, history, and the fear of watching a company they care about fall under the control of someone they believe may act impulsively. Yet Billy will remain almost completely unfazed by every complaint, accusation, and insult thrown in his direction. In Billy's mind, the battle is already over, because he believes he has captured the ultimate prize and is finally on his way back to the Chancellor office. That certainty will make his attitude even more infuriating for Kane and Lily, who will realize that Billy is not going to be intimidated by their threats. Instead of backing down, Billy will move forward as though the future of Chancellor has already been decided, leaving Kane and Lily with no choice but to prepare for a serious legal and personal showdown. With that confidence still burning, Billy will eventually make his way to the athletic club bar, ready to celebrate his supposed victory in style. It will not take long for Audra to notice that something has changed when she walks in and sees Billy looking unusually pleased with himself. Curious about what has put him in such a good mood, Audra will question him, and Billy will eagerly invite her to join him for a drink so he can share all the details. The celebration will give Billy a chance to bask in the moment, especially after the long struggle surrounding Chancellor and his determination to reclaim his place at the top. Audra may congratulate him for finally getting what he has always wanted, recognizing just how much this victory means to Billy. But beneath her congratulations, there will be a more cautious concern, because Audra knows there is another important part of Billy's life that could be deeply affected by this latest development. Audra will likely begin wondering how Sally Spectra will react when she returns from her trip and discovers everything Billy has been doing. Billy is supposed to be concentrating on wedding plans and preparing for the arrival of Sally's baby, so this sudden obsession with Chancellor could look like a serious distraction from the priorities he promised to focus on. For Sally, the timing may be especially troubling because she will have every reason to question whether Billy's attention is truly where it needs to be during such an important period in their lives. Billy, of course, will insist that he can handle everything and that he will be able to make Sally understand why this victory matters to him. He may believe that once he explains the situation, Sally will eventually see things from his perspective and accept that reclaiming Chancellor is simply too important for him to walk away from. But Audra may not share that confidence, and her concern could leave Billy facing an uncomfortable possibility. His greatest business victory might create a painful new problem in his personal life. Audra may warn Billy that relationships can only absorb so much pressure before cracks begin to appear, especially when unresolved issues continue piling up. Her words could serve as a quiet warning that Billy may be underestimating just how much Sally has already been asked to tolerate, particularly with their wedding and the arrival of their baby approaching. Yet Billy will not allow Audra to destroy the mood of his celebration, and he will likely brush aside her concerns rather than let them overshadow what he sees as a historic moment. Instead, Billy may raise his glass and propose a toast to Chancellor's future, fully confident that the company will soon be back under his leadership. With his eyes fixed on the office he believes is waiting for him, Billy will celebrate as though the battle has already been won, even while Kane and Lily prepare to challenge him, and Sally remains an unanswered question looming over his happiness. And as Monday's episode unfolds, Billy's triumph may prove to be far more complicated than he realizes, because the fight for Chancellor could threaten both his business ambitions and the future he is supposed to be building with Sally. But Billy's confidence will only make the coming fallout more dangerous, because while he sees Chancellor as the ultimate prize, the people around him may see something very different. To Billy, reclaiming the company represents more than a business victory. It is proof that he has finally overcome the obstacles that once stood between him and the position he believes belongs to him. That sense of accomplishment will make it difficult for him to recognize how deeply his choices could affect the people closest to him. Kane and Lily will not be willing to let the matter disappear, and their determination to challenge Billy could turn what he considers a finished battle into a prolonged legal war. At the same time, Audra's warning about Sally will continue hanging over the celebration like a shadow Billy cannot completely escape. The more Billy tries to convince everyone that he has everything under control, the more obvious it may become that his personal and professional lives are moving toward a collision. Kane and Lily, meanwhile, will have plenty of reasons to remain suspicious of Billy's sudden confidence, especially if they believe there is more to the Chancellor situation than he is admitting. Even if the evidence ultimately proves authentic, accepting that reality will not mean accepting Billy as the company's rightful future leader. Their anger will likely become fuel for their determination, pushing them to explore every possible option rather than surrendering simply because Billy has declared himself the winner. They may begin thinking strategically about what their next move should be, knowing that an emotional reaction alone will not be enough to defeat Billy. The courtroom could become the next battlefield, where documents, evidence, ownership claims, and competing versions of the truth will determine what happens to Chancellor. And while Billy celebrates in Genoa City, Kane and Lily could quietly begin building the case that might eventually threaten everything he believes he has secured. That looming battle will also make Billy's conversation with Audra more significant than it first appears, because Audra may understand the risks that Billy is refusing to see. She will know that a victory at Chancellor could come with a heavy personal price if Billy continues putting business ambition ahead of his relationship with Sally. Billy may insist that Sally will eventually understand, but Audra could remain unconvinced that love and patience will automatically survive another major conflict. Sally has her own future to think about, especially with their wedding plans underway and a baby on the way, and she may not be prepared to watch Billy become consumed by another battle. If Billy returns to the Chancellor office determined to prove himself once again, Sally could begin wondering where she and their growing family fit into his priorities. That uncertainty could become every bit as dangerous as the legal fight surrounding Chancellor. For now, however, Billy will choose celebration over worry, raising his glass and allowing himself to imagine the future he has been fighting for. He will picture himself back in the Chancellor office, once again holding the power and authority he believes should have never been taken away from him. Around him, though, the warning signs will continue to gather. Kane and Lily are preparing for court, Audra is questioning his priorities, and Sally has yet to return and react to the news. Billy may believe that none of those problems are strong enough to stop him, but the real test will come when the people closest to him finally have their chance to respond. His victory may be legitimate, but legitimacy alone will not guarantee peace, loyalty, or happiness. And as Monday's drama moves forward, Billy could discover that winning Chancellor is only the beginning of a much bigger battle, one that could force him to fight not only for a company, but for the future of his relationship, his family, and the life he claims he wants most.